Generals, gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kolodny Firma Summer. We are the Generals Gentlemen. I am the Machine.
And I'm Mark on Hawk.
And this is my brother, Ashley.
Hey Ashley, what's going on, buddy? I like your sexy Zen garden. Callum's brother has this massive amount of plants at the back and just growing big every time.
Yeah, well, speaking of growing big, VonIvan on the left side will be our OberKommandoWest.
It's pretty big, as his big opponent here, going to be playing on the right-hand side. It's Romeo. He's going to be our US forces for today. Western Front Army's matchup it is going to be.
Now, in case you guys aren't aware, Romeo is the king of cheese.
Oh yeah, he's the High Lord of cheese.
He is the king, the cheese overlord.
Yeah,
we played a 4v4 with him and Iceman Joker from RNG Arena, and he spent the entire game spamming tank traps. And then he actually put tank traps around one of the opponent's battle group headquarters.
Yeah.
So like he couldn't retreat properly. And then he just went rear echelon spam into M1919.
You guys had like the funnest side. It was pretty
beautiful.
Cool. It was a good game.
So shout out to our dear friend Romeo. As for VonIvan, let's see what he's going for.
Pretty standardish start here. A couple of all squads going to be coming out after those Stums. No real aggressive truck movement from him. He's just going to be chilling back at base.
Yeah. Now, I always love wiring off
that
here.
spot.
That's like the best wire in the entire
Yeah,
world.
oh yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's so hard to take back that point once you're actually there. Then you have to be dueling, you know, heavy cover versus heavy cover, and that can always be a little bit antsy. Definitely do like that. Should have taken the garrison provision, I think, there. The church?
Oh, fighting position.
There. Yeah.
It's actually a nice spot to put the upgraded MG, because then you do actually have that road locked down, and having that cut off decapped can be rather punishing, so I do like that. Maybe a little bit early, perhaps, from Romeo, but can be effective nonetheless.
Yeah, and there are a couple of shot blockers on the side as well. You've got the garrison, the heavy cover there as well. Can deflect a couple of shots, and it's always nice to have your fighting positions in positions where they are safe from a little bit of AT fire.
Yeah, it is quite vulnerable there, but it's only 150 munitions. It's not expensive. It's only really when you get the upgrade that you kind of then start to invest in it. But even then, munitions for Americans isn't a huge deal. You don't have mines, and your weapon upgrades are absolutely trash. Bars and bazookas just not good. So there aren't really that many things that are worthwhile spending munitions on. Grenades are nice to have, and upgrades for, say, airborne or your M20 utility car. Nice to have those, but yeah, I think spending 60 munitions on a fighting position isn't a huge deal.
You remember the #1 fighting position? The one down the side there, we can fire rifle nades over the wall.
Yeah, that was cool. Other than that, though, a lot of Volskrons here for VonIvan. He's got 3 squads of Volks.
And another one coming on the way as well.
Wow.
4 squads of Volks. Yeah, not going for an extra Strum just yet. Volks scaling quite well, and not completely unheard of to be going for that many of them.
They're just so strong.
Yeah, Romeo playing pretty passive at the moment. He doesn't want to walk into engagements he might not win. He's just going to be chilling in heavy cover for the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Also, wiring off here is so great, especially as OberKommandoWest, because you can't cut the wire.
Yeah.
So you can't get rid of that wire until you have explosives and force fire it down. Volksgrenadiers are charging up here, but into the rifle. Won't be very powerful up close, but this is that many of them, and the Sturm Pioneers in the garrison rear echelon need to get inside of the fighting position for their rifle grenades, going in for it now, but it may be a little bit too late.
Yeah, and even if they do, they're not the nicest of spots. They're going to take some damage as they walk towards the fighting position. Do they have a minimum range, the rifle nades?
I don't actually know, to be honest. Probably.
I have to check that.
Volley fire going onto the Volksgrens at that close. They will start to do some pretty good suppression, as long as they don't have to retreat. There we go. Drops the Volk squad to the ground. Sturm Pioneers are closing the gap as well. So Romeo will lose his cutoff by the looks of it here.
He may lose the rear echelon squad as well. Those Sturms are pretty devastating on retreat there. Does go for the lieutenant as well. Pretty early. 3 riflemen into lieutenant. No ambulance to speak of as yet.
One thing to bear in mind as well is Romeo has 3 M15 bulletins, so he really wants to rush out that M15. Going for the M20 though, doesn't have the choice. Losing his fuel, he can't hold out for it. Lieutenant will bring a lot of firepower to the fight with the Thompson and that bar, but this is the ideal position. Volks and the Sturms are behind the heavy cover. That's why I love wiring off these spots.
Yeah, very, very important to wire the heavy cover, and this is showing exactly why it is. A lieutenant and the rifleman should have an okay time. Pretty high damage output, but yeah, it is not being that effective against the heavy cover, and what it's doing is it's giving the Sturms and the Volks enough time to destroy the fighting position and also grab more ground.
Yeah, and meanwhile, VonIvan does actually have most of the map here, so he's going to be doing well in the munitions and in the field department. Looks as though VonIvan will just retreat after destroying that. And I like this because we do see the rifleman charging in because he knew what VonIvan was trying to do. So by blobbing forward, he may punish the stay around here from VonIvan. And without the Sturm Pioneers, they won't have much damage. The Volksgrenadier is going to have to retreat through a massive blob, and the M20, nice timing, trading the Volks for the fighting position, not worth it. M20 is very good at chasing units on retreat.
Trying to block off the Volks as well, doing a pretty good job of it. Does knock off one, and they drop one model, and perhaps the second one as well. Maybe even more than that.
Wow.
Still chasing a retreat. He refuses to stop here. Armored skirts can be upgraded as well.
No Raketenwerfer in the garrison either, and the blob is catching up.
The blob is running too fast. Oh, that is a nice play here from Romeo. King of the cheese, more like king of the M20 Micro. Moving it right in front of the Volsky, not only doing the damage with the MG, but also knocking off their retreat path. So, though Romeo lost the map, he gained a lot from that. 2 squad wipes already.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is with OberKommandoWest, it's pretty much all about the squad wipes. Because you just don't really engage cost effectively because of just how strong everything is. A lot of the matchup, US against OKW, comes down to how many squads can you wipe on retreat with your light vehicles. Because, yeah, you just don't have very good infantry trading. Now, M20 will push the Shrek. The Shrek can't fire in this engagement here. Unless Romeo miss micros, the Shrek can't 1v1 this. Not when it's up close.
He has to find it now. Drop to another model. He dropped the Shrek model, and now he has to find the
That's the hardest part. Firing through the hedge, not going to be very effective here. Is when you kill the guy with the Shrek, Raketenwerfer actually in a nice angle does have the smoke though. But even then, a bit of miss micro from VonIvan, moving it a little bit too far, may even wipe this Raketenwerfer.
This M20 is having the best time in the world.
Incredibly effective here. And this battle group headquarters, it's very, very far back, so VonIvan won't have the forward retreat and heal point, which is really great to have. A lot of float though for Romeo, I think getting just a little bit focused on the M20. Can't say I blame him, but needs to get some more squads rolling.
Yeah, I mean, he could set up some manpower for these paratroopers when they do come in, but he needs an ambulance to
3
start
command
off with.
points also.
Yeah, it's still a while. He's only on about 2 1/3 at the moment, so it will be quite a while.
Maybe that's why he's floating. Maybe he wants to get double paratroopers.
That's what I'm assuming, yeah. But I mean, even then, it's pretty early to save up. So.
Doesn't have much munitions either. But we'll decap the field. Gonna have to retreat through this one.
Does decide to run away. No Pathfinders for him yet either. Doesn't want to go for them. Obviously, yeah, definitely wanting a lot of paratroopers. M20 moving forward. That Volk squad does not have a Shrek.
No, it's a hard spot to be in because the Volks and the Shrek, with the Shrek and the Raketenwerfer, will call out of position. So you can't really engage without that. Otherwise, you're on the risk of just getting wiped by the M20. Lieutenant, getting it pretty low. The pushing will prevent the chase on retreat. Going to be doing some more damage. You want to focus the Sturm Pioneers since they have a lot higher reinforced cost and they're easier to kill being only a 4-man squad. Rifleman as well will have some nice damage. Such effective use with the M20.
Oh yeah.
And it's a really strong unit in the matchup because there isn't those Panzerfaust, and you have a really strong window when your opponent... Oh, actually Raketenwerfer almost firing. Pops the smoke just to be safe. Probably would have been fine though. You have a pretty big window until your opponent starts to get those Shreks and starts to get the Raketenwerfers, then you can be very aggressive. The paratroopers are being deployed, getting a lot of the command points, popping down in a mine as well, and that's interesting given the fact that he needs munitions for his paratroopers, but still always nice to have.
Yeah, does drop a model as well on those paratroopers to a bad drop location. Always unfortunate. Will again use it to force off the Volsk and the Raketenwerfer though, and he's really using it nicely because the Volsk and the Raketenwerfer are moving together, and every time they get forced off, the M20 all of a sudden gets free reign again.
Fallschirmjäger is going to be a nice response because of the Panzerfaust, so will be good against the M20. Fallschirmjäger, they're very expensive though, and for their cost, they're not exactly very cost effective, but the Fallschirmjägers are dependable because they're good in every range. Long, close, and mid. I think he was looking to get the Faust on that M20.
I think he was, yeah. Probably, I mean, he might have come close to at least dropping a few models there. It was a pretty close engagement if he stayed in a nice amount of cover. It does drop 2 models though. Got the decap though. Not that it really matters because the BP was actually connecting the rest of the territory for Romeo.
So the Luftwaffe ground forces will be locked in here, and Romeo, of course, has the airborne. Fallschirmjäger, they also scale very well into the late game. I mean, everything does for OKW, but again, because of their versatility, because of the short, medium, and long-range versatility, they're basically just good in every position. Where, say, Obersoldaten, they're quite weak at close if you're able to sort of ambush them around a corner. I lost a game where my Vet 3 shock troopers were losing to close range Vet 5 Fallschirmjäger. And yeah, and not only do they beat them at point blank range, they also beat them at medium range and long range. And yeah, they're really good once you get that late game Vet 4 and Vet 5. But again, they're not that cost effective in the mid game when they first are deployed.
Romeo just gonna pop in the retreat there, backing off from that engagement. He has most of the map. Doesn't really need to get too aggressive with himself.
Yep.
No hints as to next building coming out here.
Ooh.
The next tech. Ooh, Romeo probably doesn't want that garrison.
Pretty deadly blob moving in, and for now, pretty good fuel held by Romeo. Double fuel, top and the bottom. A little bit late on the retreat. We will probably get wiped here. No, it gets out of that one.
Very lucky.
Yeah. M20 not going to... Oh, actually may lose the M20 to a Shrek on the road with the extra movement speed, though. Gets away, probably because of the road.
Just in time there. So nice micro coming out. Major is going to be selected as well. Skips the captain, goes for that Major. Good choice from Romeo.
Yeah. The way I see it, the US versus OKW matchup is you have to just be balls out, hyper aggressive with those Shermans. Because Jacksons don't work on a map like Kolodny. It's really as simple as that. Panthers just are so strong against infantry, and because of how much more health and how much more armor they have, it's really hard to kill them with a Jackson on any map, let alone a map like Kolodny, where the Jackson can't really ever make use of that range advantage. So trying to play the Jackson Bazooka M1 game can be really hard to do, rather than just spamming 2, 3, 4 Shermans and hoping that you can win the game before the heavy armor comes in.
So Panzer headquarters is going to be going down here for VonIvan up the top. Does decide to use it to lock down the fuel. Probably a good choice.
And the cutoff as well.
Yeah, and the cutoff. So it is a nice place to put it.
It's a risky spot because it can get sieged up here by the M1 AT guns, but there won't be any of those coming out. Not from the tier 3, but he is airborne, so Romeo could deploy an M1 AT gun and then capture it with those rear echelon.
Definitely is possibility there.
You can kill it with Shermans, but the Panzer headquarters consistently penetrates the frontal armor of a Sherman, so you kind of need to have 2 Shermans or an AT gun in a Sherman or a Jackson. Pretty big blob here. Garrison will give some pretty good defense, but against that many units, rear echelon actually volley firing the Stone Pioneers.
They'll actually be dropping some stuff here. The riflemen are going to be backing away from this one. Major barrage looks like a good idea, but it's definitely never is here. The volley fire definitely worked out.
Shrek in the Garrison
is available.
And the Panzerfaust. Won't be used though. Don't think he was within range. Rakenwerfer moving in, but the airborne are going to be really good. They have pretty good fire on the move and close range accuracy. They're rather good at wiping the Rakenwerfers. Nice
Fallschirmjäger deploy there as well from VonIvan. They're going to actually cut off the airborne. They're going for the Rakenwerfer. Now they're going to be sliced in half here. A lot of riflemen squads will be moving up as well. Those airborne are quite low and no upgrades for them either.
Yeah, they're being shredded and they will have to retreat through this blob. Probably can get wiped. Ambulance is rather exposed. M20 can't go in with the Shrek and with the Panzerfaust.
Oh, they're going to walk to the battle retreat.
That's a shame.
Well. Doesn't get taken out.
Yeah. M20 now doing a bit of poke here, but he's got to be careful. The Fallschirmjäger, they're almost within a range. Only one more Shrek will be required, but the road and the smoke will secure the escape. Rifleman having to retreat through the blob once again. Kind of hard to deal with.
Yeah, if you have the retreat point set on the Major and then you retreat the Major, units that are retreating actually retreat to that point still where the Major was.
Yeah.
At that point, yeah, you can have some issues with that because you forget about it and you think, oh no, my retreat point has moved back to base, and actually no, it's where the Major was until, you know, he's retreated until that point is cancelled.
Yeah, good thing Romeo was watching. Otherwise, he would have lost it. He actually had to re-retreat.
Yeah, you have to re-retreat.
The Rifleman squad there. For now, Sherman is coming out alongside the 50 cal MG. As for VonIvan, he's happy just to spam out his Volksgrenadiers and his Fallschirmjäger. We'll be saving up for a Panther by the looks of it. Doesn't have the tier 3, so he won't be able to do the munitions into fuel transfer.
is a pretty safe choice, I think, just saving up for the Panther. Doesn't really need anything at this point. Has a lot of infantry firepower, just as is, and deciding to bet up his squads as well.
The other option is to go for the tier 3 and then stall for the King Tiger, but when your opponent is spamming Shermans, you kind of do need the Panther for a deterrent. He does have 2 Shreks though, and the Fallschirmjäger, so his anti-Sherman won't be too bad, depending on his positioning. If he's behind the heavy cover, if he's in garrisons, Shermans won't be that effective. But look at this blob here!
Oh, that's perfect!
Yeah, really shouldn't have been blobbing like that. I know heavy cover, it's nice to have, but this Sherman going to town on these squads.
8 kills, 2 shots!
Already.
8 kills, 2 shots! That Sherman's having a fantastic time.
M20 on the chase as well. He may wipe some squads here. Rakenwerfer firing from the garrison.
3 shots, 9 kills!
And the M20 as
there's
well.
Gonna be so many
what a
wipes
retreat!
Here. This is not good. That's another squad wipe. 11 kills from the Sherman. I blinked and I missed the kills. There's going to be so many squad wipes. That's another one. That's 12. That is 12 kills on the Sherman. That's going to be another one. That's like a 5th or 6th squad wipe there.
Maybe?
Oh, God. There's so much stuff dying here.
There's another Shrek coming up, though. We'll back away from this one.
Away.
Yeah.
He
gets the Rakenwerfer as well.
Oh, 16 kills. I'm done. That's the most successful Sherman I've seen in my life.
Yep.
That is impressive. I would not be happy if it was VonIvan, man. Like,
and once again, Romeo displaying the US versus the OKW matchup in a nutshell. Wipe squads on retreat. It's all you can do. That's what he's going to keep doing.
He's not had enough yet. That Sherman, he's hungry for blood. These squads may survive the assault. I think they will. Sherman has to turn around.
And look at the M20 as well, though.
He's not giving up,
13 kills.
13 kills. It has been having so much pressure.
Yeah, Rakenwerfer moving up, though. And he could also put the M20 vehicle crew into the Sherman. We'll give it a fair bit of veterancy. Nice. That being said, though, the Sherman already has a fair bit of kills. So the vet transfer, it won't be a huge impact. M20 gets shredded by the Panzer headquarters really quickly. Paratroopers are being called in for that VP. So Romeo's back in the game. He literally wiped, I think it was 4 squads.
I think it was 4 squads.
2 Volks, a Fallschirmjäger,
and
the Rakenwerfer, which was recaptured.
Yeah.
But the thing with Rakenwerfers is they're actually pretty bad vet 0. But they vet up really strong, and they vet up so fast. It doesn't take them long to get vetted up. So if you can deny them and wipe the vet, it actually does hinder them a fair bit. More so than wiping just packs, for example.
That was devastating, man.
Yeah, and now
so many squad wipes.
VonIvan, he's not messing around here. 2
can't.
Rakenwerfers and 2 Volksreks in a blob. He wants to have the AT. And yeah, the Sherman 16 kills. So he may even have more vet on the Sherman than what the M20 does, despite having the vet 2 comparatively. Yeah, because vet isn't 1-for-1 transfer. Some vehicles need more vet than others.
So it would be nice for the next Sherman probably if that M22 does get transferred.
Panther's coming out now.
Would be nice. So yeah, Panther. So yeah, VonIvan definitely not out of this one by any means. 50 cal in that church is going to be fantastic. Sherman looking for some more poke now.
Oh, that hedge is going to be great for Romeo. Rakenwerfers probably can't fire through that one, I don't think. Yeah, they can't.
No, they can't. That Sherman's in the perfect position. It can't get fired on by either of them.
Yeah, fantastic. Getting more and more wipes here. Veterancy 1. Not a huge deal when the Sherman is on its own, but when there is 2 of them. Retreating them now. Rakenwerfer may get wiped, but the hedge will slow down that Sherman. As for Romeo, he might just go for a Jackson now. He does have the P-47 rocket strafe. Very, very strong against the tanks in the late game. And with the M20 mines lying around, he can get some pretty nice plays. Going in deep, gotta be careful. Double Raken can do some nice damage, and don't forget,
flak emplacements.
Yeah, the flak emplacements are quite strong.
They're pretty decent.
Just getting more and more, because Panther on the field, the Sherman will be faster though, especially on the road.
And I'm pretty sure those 16 kills were before the 50 cal upgrade. Like, I'm not sure.
No, it was during.
Oh, it was during, was it? It was like
a lot of it was before, but he popped it during the engagement because he got the upgrade the moment it was called in.
It was called in, so I had to wait.
It was being unlocked like during that fight. Panther, he wants to wipe something here. Where are these M20 mines?
He's got to be so careful though, because because of the M20 mines. It's going to be safe in this
Not
way.
Not an AP.
Oh, the M20 may get caught.
It's actually really nice having the M20 near the Sherman, because then you can pop the smoke. Gets the rifle grenade, gets the damaged engine, so he will be able to back away with the Sherman. Still has the AP ammo, needs to swap that over. But he will be fine for now. Doesn't have the grenades for the smoke just yet. But the Sherman survives. Very, very important there. If you don't have your tanks as USF, you can't really engage the OKW infantry. Unless he has the LMGs on his paratroopers, then he's not too bad. Lieutenant going to have a dangerous retreat path. Gonna retreat through a
See
lot.
how it goes. Should be okay. The Fallschirmjäger were actually moving at the time, so probably have the Lieutenant walking away from that one. Panther, yeah, I mean, it was kind of dangerous, but not really. I mean, the Sherman was never going to take it out, even if there was a mine, one of the M20 mines. I mean, it might have been close, but especially with no AT guns on the field for support for Romeo, Panther aggression probably did work out there. Didn't end up getting anything out of it, but...
Oh, wow, it's actually VonIvan with the munitions float. I thought that was Romeo.
No.
So there will be the airborne assault available. Nice to have the suppression and essentially the free squads. Ooh, risky mine spot here. Doesn't see it though, and that's actually kind of good to do because it's unpredictable. Like that's not a mine spot. You don't mine that spot. So you don't, it could blow up. He might be able to blow
it up.
He dodges it though. M20 can pop the smoke. There we go. But will it matter? Whereas the Sherman rifle nade will penetrate the rear armor consistently. If it loses the M20, should have evac'd the vehicle crew for the vet to the second vehicle. No rifle nade, maybe some cooldown or something here for... Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Took a bit of a delay.
The Superman throw. Sherman's going to be moving up now. It was actually repaired there. The vehicle crew did do some work. There's an M20 line up the top and there's an M20 line there as well.
There's two of them right here.
Yeah, but where's the Panther going to move to? That's the question.
Sherman is moving in now. Needs to get the rear armor because it won't penetrate the frontal armor. Not consistently enough. Zoom Pioneers will repair incredibly fast. Doesn't actually have the upgrade though. The support package, the Minesweeper, does give you repair speed regardless of whether or not you actually have the Minesweeper equipped. As for Romeo, he can afford another Sherman, but probably will go for a Jackson instead. Called in a T-gun, a nice response. We'll need that one. And there is the airborne assault. Paratroopers are in the garrison though, so they should be fine to hold the line.
Should definitely be okay there. So they won't take anything from the strafe at least there, and do a little bit of damage to those Fallschirmjäger on the side as well, because you can't drop them too close to the cover or you do risk losing models.
Ooh,
salvaging?
The 50 cal was firing on the Storm Pioneers. Almost wiped it. It's nice to salvage, not only to get fuel, but also to deny weapons. Like, say, if you don't really want to capture a weapon, you can just salvage it to decrew it. Grenade not being too effective here, but we'll have to retreat this 50 cal. Panther, once it gets the pintle-mounted machine gun, is an incredibly effective anti-infantry weapon, despite being a tank destroyer.
Classic. Fallschirmjäger didn't really have a very good time up the top there. Riflemen are holding their own, trying to keep control of that missions point at least. Romeo definitely hasn't even touched the fuel of VonIvan, thanks to that Swear Panzer headquarters, has been doing quite a good job of forcing off that.
Paratroopers aren't good at range, not against the Fallschirmjäger. We'll have to retreat that one. M1 out of position. Volsunians will take it quietly. Needs to get in the nice response there indeed. Do we have a second tank? Not yet for Romeo. Still only on that single Sherman and the long range rifle grenade. It gets the rear armor.
It's good penetration this close to the Sherman as well.
Yeah, but the Panther just has so much more health and damage. M1 firing through the wall. Going to be very effective with the rear arm, and it will penetrate so consistently. And the Sherman may even wipe it here. It's vet to the increased rate of fire.
Oh, that's a nice play. That's the play. I love that play. I've used that before. You evac just as the Panther shot was actually going to come out. I did it accidentally once and then realized it's a real strat.
Oh, no, the M1's captured though. Oh, the Sherman... The Panther's destroyed. A bold move here with the Sherman.
Nice move.
Going in deep to the Shrek and the M1. He's juking around the hedge.
The VonIvan recovers from this really well. Can he juke out the Shrek for long enough? The M1 is still facing up. He's going to lose. He's going to lose it. It's on the arc. The Shrek can't fire.
Whoa, the Shrek can't fire. He gets it. Wow, the 50 cal, so effective, and he will wipe the M1. This is excellent play from Romeo.
That was such a good recovery from VonIvan before we go into the actual play. He recapped the M1, and if he hadn't taken that Panther, it would have been game over straight away. That would have been just game over. But the jukes from Romeo, on point, 100% on point. Anyway, the play.
That hedge, man, that
hedge, man, MVP.
The Shrek couldn't fire through it.
MVP hedge right there. The Shrek juked out so much right there. But anyway, the play. Double oversoul done for VonIvan.
Yep. That's what you do. Look at this float though. It's far too much float for Romeo.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, he did spend a lot of time microing, to be fair, and the micro was on point. Anyway, the move. Because of the Panther's slow fire rate, or anything like that, really, as the shot is about to fire, you evac the vehicle crew. This doesn't work in all situations, because obviously there's a delay between taking the crew out and being able to put them back in again, for example. But in those kind of close engagements, what you do is you evac, and it forces your opponent to click the wreck, you can't target the wreck itself, because you can't actually target it normally. You're just using right click anymore because there's nothing actually in it. It's not an oppositional vehicle. It's just a shell by itself. So it screws up your opponent's micro for long enough that you can get that last M1 shot in, which is exactly what Romeo did. Fantastic play from him. Nice recovery from VonIvan. He's definitely not out of this one yet.
Yeah, and you do have to wipe the Raketenwerfer. Nice. The thing is as well with that play, it can be a bit risky because the vehicle crews are so vulnerable to the pintle-mounted MG. But you got to bear in mind that when vehicles are on the target vehicle-only command, they won't fire the infantry. And in those situations, the Panther is going to be on the target vehicles only. So Romeo won't lose the vehicle crews because the Panthers won't auto-acquire the vehicle crews. And if he does, then he's kind of buying time. You gotta be careful though, because if you lose 2 vehicle crew, you only have 2 in the squad, you can't recapture it.
And that's a terrible feeling.
Yeah, and you have to bear in mind as well is that whilst there's the delay for the evacuate, you can't move or fire. So you can actually backfire, because in doing that, you may miss your own shot, and your own shot may have killed the Panther.
Yeah, that's the
but
important
I think he was buying time for the M1.
Yeah.
Because the Sherman, it wouldn't consistently penetrate. Obersoul Darton, very effective, but against 4 squads, well, probably not. Will do a good damage here against the Vet 2 Rifleman.
Might actually get a wipe.
Yeah, he may do indeed.
Sign up for a retreat though to get the wipe. That could be dangerous. And they down as well. So yeah, 2 Obersoul Darton do drop there. The squad, I think it might have actually fallen there.
The Rifleman?
The squad wipe? Was that a...
No,
he started reinforcing it, did he? Yeah, I thought it was down to 1 member. Second Sherman on the field now for Romeo.
Yeah, and the thing is with the second Sherman is I think Romeo would have gone Jackson if that Panther was still alive. But because the Panther was wiped, it means that he was actually safe to go double Sherman. That being said, there is 200 fuel here for VonIvan, so he could get another Panther. But he may even save up for the King Tug. We'll have to see. A lot of rear armor here for the Shermans, but there's no real AT. Raketenwerfer is going to get wiped. That was Romeo's Raketenwerfer. Shrek moving up here as well, but these Shermans are doing so much damage. And the M1 on the field for VonIvan will have some pretty strong damage. And will wipe the Fallschirmjäger, if not retreated right now. 50 cal MG, so strong. And the M1, wow, a lot of M1s here.
That's 2 M1s now for VonIvan. That might be enough. They're so powerful.
Oh, he's going to lose the Vet 2 one here.
In trouble.
This is really bad spot. You don't want to lose the Vet 2 Sherman duking out behind the garrison, but the M1's getting wiped.
Main gun destroyed. Lucky.
And now this Oh, the Shrek gets the Vet 2. A huge blow for Romeo, but how much infantry will he lose? M1s have been wiped. Airborne are quite low here against that, but nade going in. This could be a deadly grenade. The Sherman wipes the Obersoul Darton.
The Shrek in the garrison though. Oh, it gets the evac there.
Yeah, but will he manually fire? He probably will here.
Damage down the...
No, he evacuates. He didn't wipe the Sherman.
He didn't.
I think he's trying to wipe her around.
What was he going for there?
Or can you not Q-click in a garrison?
I'm not sure whether you can or not. I can imagine it being very hard to do so. I'm not sure.
Q is evacuate.
Yeah, Q is evacuate.
Wow, that's...
You probably can't Q-click it.
That's pretty scumbag.
That is very... This is like classic Romeo, man. Yeah. This game is awesome. I'm loving this.
I didn't realize that. You can't... Yeah, if you evac on a garrison, you can't manually target.
Yeah, so this is working here for Romeo because he actually kept most of his squads alive.
That
very
Sherman.
No!
Oh! With the strafe assault.
VonIvan pulling it back again. This guy refuses to give up.
Look how low the squads are. They may even get wiped as well.
Oh, and the Fallschirm drop. The Fallschirm drop might be enough. The ambulance is in the wrong position here. The strafe comes out for a second time.
He's going to lose his squads.
You baller. He's going to lose so many squads.
And the ambo will get fausted by the Fallschirmjäger. Man, that's a deadly strafe assault.
Oh, that is deadly.
Yeah, he should have reinforced pointed the major and then retreated back to his base.
Yeah, which he did, but a little bit late. So.
Ambo gets away, actually.
Yeah, the ambo survives.
Nice.
Oh, the strafe. Oh, no, just...
Hero ambo.
Yeah, hero ambo. Oh, but will it get caught? They're going for the Faust. Nah, the ambo walks away.
The rifles might kill it.
Yeah, he was taking a lot of rifle damage there.
Yeah, ambos aren't strong. He may lose it, actually.
Oh, destroyed engine. Yeah, he gets taken out. Man, the plays from these two players are ridiculous.
Now, you got to bear in mind, there's not many squads on the field for both of our players.
Yeah.
At the moment, VonIvan has more squads, and they're Obersoul Darton, so they're incredibly cost-effective without requiring as much veterancy. But there isn't that many of them, and VonIvan has a lot of fuel. He could actually call down his tier 3.
Yeah, and 50 VPs for Romeo.
And get his King... No, he's going for a Panther. I think a King Tiger would have been a much better choice in this situation, especially because Jacksons just aren't viable on Kolodny because of there's just not enough range. The map is too cluttered, too many shot blockers. You can't make use of that long range.
Definitely a fair point. So Romeo really needs to grab back these VPs now, which he's trying to do. Does go for the Thompsons here onto the airborne. I think that's a good choice. If they work.
Yeah, the problem is, though, is that Fallschirmjäger, they're not bad at close.
Yeah, they're not bad at close at all. They're reloading, though.
Oh, this could be RNG battle here, but the Fallschirmjäger had to readjust. Notice that the Fallschirmjäger that wasn't firing, he was, like, re-aiming.
Yeah, he was re-aiming, yeah.
Because I think he threw the grenade or something. So, we'll actually get
one of them dropped the clip as well. The other one dropped the clip and, like, went to reload. Yeah.
Yeah, now, that's the thing is...
That was close.
You're not really good at close range, like with the Fallschirmjäger, but the distance, well, I mean, not amazingly good, not compared to Thompson's, but the damage that it takes whilst the Thompsons are assaulting, because the airborne and say even the shocks, they will drop several members that when they do finally get within close range, they're actually not that weak. So Fallschirmjäger are good defensively. If they're used offensively, if they have to charge into the Thompsons, they get shredded, but they can just engage at medium-long range. So, I think Thompsons are actually maybe not very good against Fallschirmjäger. M19. Oh, hits the M20 mine in front of the M1 AT gun. Rifleman as well for the AT grenades and the smoke as well here. Smoke and the attack ground is very powerful, and there's no pintle-mounted MG. He can't wipe the Zis without the pintle-mounted MG.
But there's 10 VPs here for Romeo. He gets the Panther, but he needs to cap the VPs now.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize there was that little VPs for Romeo.
That little VPs. The rear echelon moving in now, but they really have to get the decap. 8 VPs. This is going to be very hairy for Romeo. And now he can't lose any ground. If he loses ground now, he loses the game.
But the thing is to bear in mind, Romeo, he has enough fuel for a Sherman.
He has everything that he needs.
And with no Panther, the Sherman will be uncontested, apart from the odd Raketenwerfer in a negligible garrison that you can just sort of avoid. And the M1 is going to absolute town on the Panzer headquarters. Fallschirmjäger, though, they may wipe the M1. But they're focusing... Oh, there's 2 M1s.
Panzer headquarters went down there, yeah. It did actually fall, so Romeo has everything he needs. He just needs more VPs. And he might not have them. The new one... Oh, no, it's actually a retreating squad there. Nice. So, oh, that's nice.
I think these rear echelon are desperation capping squads here.
Yeah, I think so.
Because they're a lot cheaper, and they're actually not that weak. Not compared to Riflemen for their cost. Fallschirmjäger doing a lot of damage in the garrison here. The Riflemen, I don't think they're actually behind the heavy cover properly.
Yeah, I don't think so. The Riflemen taking a lot of damage, and there's not really a way to deal with that garrison.
Now, this is a really nice play from Romeo that you don't see very often. Romeo actually force-fired the destroyed Panzer headquarters, and that prevents the salvage. And when it's a destroyed headquarters, you actually get, I think it's 12 fuel, which is quite significant. So...
Oh, the double caps. Dude, he's going for the double caps. He's capping in the middle there with the Raketenwerfer and the top as well. If he gets those caps, Romeo loses. Oh, no. Thompson's.
And the paratroopers do scale quite well with veterancy. The Vet 2 giving a lot of extra grenade range, weapon accuracy, and healing, which is what you want to have. But bear in mind, we do have VonIvan almost within Panther range. He has the fuel for it. Now he just needs to get that manpower, which he kind of has, but he wants these VPs badly.
Yeah, wants to win on VPs. They're very low squads, though.
He's going for a... Fallschirmjäger, he actually Oh no, the vehicle crew aren't going to be evacuated here, but it won't even matter because there's still 2 VPs in the hands of Romeo, but maybe not here.
The other one's being capped here.
Yeah, but he's going to wipe the Fallschirmjäger.
No, the Sherman needs to get the vehicle crew on the point.
Yeah, he needs to do it. He needs to do it.
The Sherman needs to get back.
He wiped it. Major will go for the VP. Okay, maybe not. 5 VPs even. This is going to be a close one here.
Going for the cap.
This is sure going to be a close one.
He doesn't have enough squads.
It won't take that long. And
why are the Riflemen down here?
Yeah, Romeo needs to go to these VPs soon. He's bleeding VPs here.
He's bleeding now.
But he probably will get the top one back within time. And the Sherman pushed the Fallschirmjäger out of it.
Can he kill them though? There's one left.
He has the 50 cal. He'll be fine. The 50 cal will shred them. Meanwhile, at the bottom, he's gonna get the bottom one, but I don't think it'll matter. Oh, actually, it might do. There are only 2 VPs. The Major will get the top one, but will it be within time? 1 VP.
No, it's over.
This, it's gonna be game over for. Oh, Romeo loses. Damn.
Oh, that game. That was so close as well. Romeo, he was capping down the bottom with Rifleman.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
They needed to be on the VPs. He was so low on VPs.
Because Romeo had that game hard.
He had that game easily.
There was a Panther coming.
Could have dealt with it.
Yeah, considering he had the M1 still and they were vetted.
Look at the squads for VonIvan. He was literally down to 2 squads. The 2 squads that were coming to the bottom VP. The Shums and the Oversoldier. If the Airborne were actually on the VP, he would have lost them. He would have lost the game. Like, even with the Panther, Romeo could have dealt with that. So that's really unfortunate. But that was a fantastic game. So many little niche micro tricks and just really good play from both of our players.
Yeah, indeed. And I think one thing that VonIvan should have really done is you do the classic the bar count.
The bar count,
my opponent has an M20. How many bars does my opponent have? No bars, no airborne upgrades, not in the mid game.
Yeah.
And where is the munitions going? If there's no bars, there's no nades, there's no LMG, no Thompsons. Where are the munitions going?
There's got to be mines. There's got to be. And there was lots of them as well. There's one there. There's one in the middle. There's one at the top, and one at least in near the VP, like in that kind of up more the middle VP. There was one around the middle VP area as well that he put down earlier in the match. So yeah, there was another one. Yeah, there was a lot. Anyway.
Yeah, when you see an M20, you should get the repair and the Minesweeper. And the thing is, the Minesweepers is it gives you the repair speed, so like you want it anyway.
Yeah,
like there's no downside. You get it eventually. Regardless.
You can put it away, can't you? As well. If you
you put it away.
DPS,
yeah, there's no downside. The only downside is like you generally want to have those Shreks up early. But there was a long period of time when he was just floating munitions. I think he just forgot to get the Minesweeper. But yeah, they turned the game. The M20 mines, they're amazing.
They are, definitely. Panther just got caught and he just surrendered himself to death. There was just 2 M1s there. He's like, nah, man, I'm not getting out of this one. So.
Yeah, and the Sherman got crazy kills. I say it again. I said it before, I say it again. US, it's all about how many squads can you wipe on retreat with vehicles because you can't cost effectively engage, like hands down, and your tanks lose late game. So that's kind of how you have to play. You have to go balls deep and you have to wipe those squads. Otherwise, you just don't win in the late game unless your opponent drives over M20 mines, which you can't always depend on.
Yeah. I
also would have liked to see a King Tiger rather than the Panther, I think.
Yeah.
But other than that, any last words? It was well
No,
played.
just a really good game from both of our players. Like every time you think one of them just has the game, just has the upper hand, it just gets turned around by the other one. I mean, like VonIvan, like he lost the Panther and then it got recrewed and then he had the M1 and it killed the Panther and then we thought the Sherman was going to go down and then Romeo was going to lose and then Romeo used their hedge to juke around. Like that was just nice play.
Pretty good unit preservation as well. There were a lot of squads lost, but they were in those really hectic
big invasions.
Yeah, there wasn't really many squads getting caught out of position or like squads just sort of being inattentively lost. Yeah. So yeah, well played. Been a great one, and we'll see you next time here at GeneralsGentlemen. Be sure to subscribe for more Company of Heroes 2 action.
Indeed.
Catch you later.
Bye.